Alright guys, so we are on to the next episode of Dragon Ball Super. This is episode 90. What a fucking fantastic episode this was. Very, very good. If we get more stuff like this upcoming in the Tournament of Power, things are going to be looking very good for the series to be gaining a lot of my respect back and a lot of other people's. There were some, moments in Dragon Ball Super where it looked like Toei was really not giving a shit, but it looks like things are progressing in the right direction, which we've seen throughout the Universal Survival Arc, so that's good. This episode is called See the Wall That Must Be Passed, Goku vs. Gohan. So of course, the big thing that everyone is talking about is, of course, this battle between Goku and Gohan. Let's jump into this. So the episode opens up with Piccolo and Gohan completing up their trading. Piccolo says that he's done at this point, he's everything that he could for Gohan, and that before the Tournament of Power starts, Gohan needs to test his power against a certain individual. Now, the thing that's interesting here is Gohan is in his tracksuit, which, I hated to see that, but this right here is the shot from the intro that had everyone losing their minds when the intro first was shown, where Piccolo's standing over Gohan and Gohan's meditating, and then, he does like this big power burst. Well, that's the scene that we've got right here. The difference, of course, is that it's at nighttime, and Gohan doesn't actually power up. Now, the scene quickly changes to Goku, the Turtle Hermit Master Roshi, Ten Shinhan, and Chaozu. They are having a dinner and kind of discussing what they're going to do next before the Tournament of Power begins, when Piccolo and Gohan show up, and they kind of get it started that there's going to be a 2-on-2 match. What we're going to have is Goku and Tien are going to be fighting against Piccolo and Gohan, and they're fighting on kind of like this big, I don't want to call it a mountain, it's more like a plateau. They're fighting on this plateau, and it's kind of like, it's a 2-on-2 match. They want to use teamwork, and if you get knocked out off the plateau, then that's kind of like a ring out. Like a lot of these practice matches we've seen over the past several episodes have been kind of simulating the conditions for the Tournament of Power, what with it, you being knocked off of the plateau and all of that. Master Roshi, before the match starts, says some words about how he's like, it is a great thing to have lived such a long life, and he kind of reminisces on what Goku has become, and now his son is looking to surpass him. And, Goku and Gohan kind of start powering up, and Tien is kind of like, whoa, hey, bro, this is just a practice match. And Goku and Gohan, they start really going at it, and you can see Gohan is fighting very viciously. There's none of that sort of timidness that he sometimes has, and he's looking very confident. He almost has kind of the persona of his ultimate form, but you can see that he's not in his ultimate form because he doesn't have the bang. That's obviously the indicator there. Gohan kind of gets a little chatty, and Piccolo is basically like, hey, boy, cut that out. Remember our training, what we talked about. And I loved this. So Piccolo begins charging up. He's actually using his Demon Explosive Wave. This is the same move that he used in Dragon Ball to actually destroy Goku. Their fight in that tournament, the very last fight of Dragon Ball, when Piccolo kind of did like a huge explosion. Kind of like Majin Vegeta's final explosion. The difference is that Piccolo is not actually hurting himself with his kind of explosion technique. Goku was able to tank it back in Dragon Ball. But that's what Piccolo does right here. He starts charging that up. And Goku and Tien, they start charging to stop Piccolo. And Gohan is actually putting in work. He pretty much quickly KOs Tien with a punch to the gut. And then him and Goku, they're fighting, going all over the place. And they had one of these are the moments I live for in fucking anime. It was one of these moments that made me rise out of my seat. Oh shit, I was so hyped. Was Goku and Gohan, they're really going at it. They're both still base form. Gohan is not in his ultimate form yet, you could tell because he doesn't have the bang. Goku's still base. They're really moving fast and fighting. And you see Chaozu goes, oh, they're fast. And Master Roshi takes his shades off, and then it zooms in on his eyes, and his eyes kind of widen, like kind of, you know, that anime like shock thing. And I was just like, oh shit, that, I don't know, that thing, I love that in anime. The, you know, the Masaka Nani moment, that shit gets me so hyped. Roshi taking the shades off and then like being shocked, like he's like, hold on, I have to take my shades to see this bullshit. What the fuck happened to Gohan? Yo, this shit was so good. Tien begins to power up a Kiko Ho, you know, the tri-beam, and shoot it at Piccolo to kind of stop him from letting off his big explosion attack. And Gohan, really showing how formidable he is now, is able to kind of deflect Goku, and then he's able to shoot a blast and stop Ten Shinhan from even firing off his Kiko Ho, which is super badass. The Kiko Ho, of course, being the tri-beam. Then at this point, shit just goes all out nuts. Gohan goes down and pummels Tien straight into like the big rock plateau they're on. Piccolo lets off his demon explosive wave. Goku is able to tank it, similarly to what he was able to do in Dragon Ball. A little differently, but he's able to stop it. But this allows Gohan the opportunity to jump in, and he kind of has very similar, almost like what Vegito Blue was about to do to merge Zamasu, where he had kind of like a fist, and he was like, you could see like the energy around Vegito Blue's hand. Gohan comes in with like the same attack, and it creates this huge explosion, completely destroys the plateau, destroys the mountain fighting stage, whatever you want to call it. Goku is able to block the attack, but it had big, you know, collateral damage. And at this point, Tien and Roshi and all of them, you know, they're ready to call the fight off. But Gohan, no, he's not having that. And he tells Goku, let's keep going. Now, of course, Goku, his dick instantly gets rock hard hearing this. He goes Super Saiyan 2 and says, hell yeah, let's do it. Now, the scene at this point cuts over to Gowasu over in Universe 10, and he's kind of trying to figure out what fighters he should use for the Universe 10 Tournament of Power team, and he decides that he doesn't want to, you know, pick some sort of fighters that might end up going down the path of Zamasu. And then it's at this point that the God of Destruction and his attendant show up, and they actually have several fighters who I guess are going to be a part of the Universe 10 team, including Marichim, I think is I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'll have to see it more. But he looks weird. He has the same sort of monk dots on his forehead that Krillin does. And, you know, he's pretty diesel. And, like, there's a funny joke to where they're talking about how they're going to do in the tournament. And they're like, whoa, hold on, Kaioshin-sama. We have to have our protein drinks now. A little bit of an odd scene. But I would have to say it's very, very Toriyama-esque right here with these characters. And I do want to see more of this Universe 10 God of Destruction, the elephant guy. He does kind of tell Gowasu that Gowasu thinks too much and is using his head too much, and he needs to use more flesh or muscle, thus being, you know, kind of the warriors they have for the Universe 10 team. So it cuts back to Goku and Gohan. Gohan at this point actually powers up to his ultimate form, and Goku is actually surprised by this in that he's impressed with Gohan's current full power, as Gohan says, but he's surprised that Gohan doesn't go Super Saiyan. And Gohan says, my goal is an ultimate form that no one has seen before, but I want to achieve this with a different method than you're taking. So right here, I guess this, to me, what I'm taking from this is kind of the kibosh. There will be no Super Saiyan Blue for Gohan, and I also think this is pretty much, I don't want to say confirmation, but I think they basically just said Gohan's not going to go Super Saiyan Blue, and Gohan's not going to go Super Saiyan Rage. If Gohan is getting a new form, it again is going to be unique. I think Gohan's dialogue was pretty clear on that. Him saying he wants to take a different method from Goku means we will not be seeing a Super Saiyan Blue Gohan, which I'm okay with. I do kind of like I guess the path that Dragon Ball Super is taking, where rather than like, you know, Goku goes Super Saiyan and then everyone in the fucking world is able to go Super Saiyan, Dragon Ball Super is kind of taking this path where fighters are kind of branching out and almost kind of, you know, gathering strength in their own unique way. This is why now we've seen so many different things. You know, Goku and Vegeta got their Super Saiyan Blue. Goku Black has essentially his Super Saiyan Blue, but it's a little different, Rose. Then Trunks got his Super Saiyan Rage, which is different. Gohan is going, you know, further pushing down the path of his ultimate form, which obviously is different from Super Saiyan. So I do think moving forward, this would be a good way to take Dragon Ball Super, where these characters are kind of like, it's almost like, think of it like job classes. Like, the characters are kind of picking their job and pushing forward in that direction, rather than, you know, just them all doing the same thing, which I do like better and definitely will make for more interesting and unique moments, that they're all doing different things, rather than just the same old thing that, you know, because by the end of Dragon Ball Z, every fucking character, all the heroes were Super Saiyans. None of the humans mattered anymore. Piccolo didn't really matter anymore. It's just all Super Saiyans. So we're going differently here, and I like that a lot. And it's cool. Right before they start fighting, Goku actually says, you know, we're about to go to this tournament with all the universe's strongest fighters, and I thought that there would be no better place to begin training, but here, Gohan, I've forgotten that you're right here. And then what takes place after this, Goku and Gohan start fighting, and it is a very, very impressive battle. You know, you're going to hear everyone kind of be like, oh, it's just like DBZ, just like DBZ. And it's like, we do kind of have to accept that, like, you know, the fights aren't going to be like DBZ-ish moving forward, or in Dragon Ball Super really at all. But this was just kind of that ridiculous fast-paced action that everyone kind of grew up with, where it's just non-stop fighting at a ridiculously fast rate. I hope I don't hear anyone complain about the animation, because all I saw was just outstanding. Just the way it looked was very good. Honestly, I have no complaints about this Goku-Gohan fight whatsoever. I thought it was done beautifully. I liked the way that both characters were fighting, their strategies, what they were doing. Overall, this was very good, and this was a very good episode. There's a moment pretty shortly into the battle where Goku is actually kind of shooting like a ki blast, like barrage at Gohan, which to me was a little reminiscent of when Goku did that against Cell. But while Goku's doing that, you see it from Gohan's point of view, his perspective. He's knocking the blasts away. You could see Goku in the distance. Gohan knocks one away, and then you see in the distance, Goku's not there anymore. And Gohan's like, oh shit. And then, you know, at that moment, instant transmissioning behind Gohan is Goku. Like, just moments like that worked really well. Goku, despite the fact that he's only fighting in his Super Saiyan 2 form, definitely appeared to have the advantage the entire time they were fighting. I don't know what it is exactly about the Super Saiyan 2 form that Goku loves so much in Dragon Ball Super, but go through all of these fights, Goku is loving the Super Saiyan 2 form. It's what he did against Goku Black. He did this against Zamasu when he first fought him. Goku is going to this form quite a bit. So Goku and Gohan, they have a Kamehameha Ki clash, which is pretty good. One bad thing about Dragon Ball Super is that it is kind of notorious for having like really shitty energy clashes, but this one was pretty good. But we see continuously Goku is having the upper hand here. And Gohan, you know, starts getting in Goku's face and he says, it's time to get serious, Dad. Fight me serious. And like there's kind of, you know, they're making explosions from their clashes at each other. And it actually cuts over to Bulma's house, Capsule Corp. And we see, you know, Whis, Old Kai, and them are kind of sensing the energy. And Vegeta senses it as well. And you see him smile. I got really hyped with this. I was like, oh shit, yes, Vegeta. Vegeta, as that Saiyan, he's loving this energy. He's feeling it. He's ready to fight as well. I loved that. So then Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue, and Gohan charges him, and he's like, you know, fight me at full strength, because we know Super Saiyan Blue is not Goku's full strength. And it's actually really cool. I don't want to take credit for this. I saw this on Twitter. The shot of Gohan charging at Goku is like, it's framed in the exact way of when Goku is going to kill King Piccolo when he does, his, I don't know what attack, I guess you could call it maybe his original Dragon Fist or whatever, but when Goku tunnels right through Piccolo's body, there's a shot, like kind of a profile shot from the side where you see Goku's fist as he's going up to hit Piccolo, and they do a shot of Gohan here that's exactly the same. See, Dragon Ball Super is starting to do a lot of these things. I do like this. I mean, it is, what they're doing is touching into our nostalgia, but guess what? It works. Having Piccolo bust out this demon explosive wave like he did in Dragon Ball works. Having Tien do the forearm technique, Master Roshi did the Banco Bickery Show, the lightning flash surprise attack in the last episode. All of these callbacks are good things, not bad things. Because the source material, Dragon Ball, maybe I didn't say that correctly, but the original material of Dragon Ball Z, was very good, very well received. We're all nostalgic for that. I see them kind of taking stuff from that in kind of the right amount and the right way. Like, this was perfect to me. This was like the perfect place to have kind of like a little callback to Goku fighting King Piccolo with what is essentially, Gohan is Piccolo's student more so than anyone else. We have him going towards Goku, doing that same pose, that same attack Goku did to King Piccolo. I loved it a lot. This was very good. So Goku and Gohan, they clash blows a little bit with Goku as Super Saiyan Blue. But then at this point, Gohan is like, full power. And finally, Goku busts out the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. And then Gohan and Goku, they rush each other, full power, speeding at each other. Well, I say full power, but I think both Gohan and Goku have another step that they could take that they don't here. And they clash, and it creates a huge explosion. And it goes over to Vegeta, and you see Vegeta is actually, like, surprised, like, he's shocked, clearly, at the amount of power being put out. And remember, Vegeta has not been training the past, little while because of Bra being born. I think Vegeta is definitely going to be hitting up the Room of Spirit and Time soon to catch up back on his training, because, of course, I've made the prediction several times that in the Tournament of Power, we're going to see new attacks from every character. This includes Vegeta. Vegeta's going to hit up that Room in Spirit and Time, the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, whatever you want to call it, in order to get a brand new attack, maybe a new level of power. Book that, because that's going to happen. And then when finally the explosion kind of clears, the smoke clears, everything, we see Goku and Gohan, they're kind of in poses, We've seen it a bunch in anime where, like, two samurai will, like, clash swords, like, the screen will go bright, and, they both slash at the same time, and then they finish the shot in their poses, and then, the camera waits there for a second before one of them falls. That's kind of what happens here. Gohan, of course, took the L with this one, but you see Goku is, like, smiling so ear to ear. He loved it. Gohan is kind of unconscious. He's smiling. It's great. After Gohan, basically, loses, he does start to fall down. Goku catches him. 5 out of 5 stars for this episode. Very, very good shit. And then the very last part of the episode, what we get is Goku declaring that he has decided who will be the Universe 7 team leader, and he picks Gohan. Of course, I think that is a great idea. Gohan has proven himself worthy. I can't wait to see him fight in the Tournament of Power. I can't wait to see what Goku surpassing his limits is going to look like. Things are looking up right now for Dragon Ball Super, but moving forward, in the next couple episodes, we are going to be getting into some interesting stuff. Let's see if the show can keep this momentum, or if they'll fuck it up by bringing an old dead character back to life. We'll see. We will see if Dragon Ball Super fucks it up or not.